So today we're going to go with defenders. We're going to go through all of the centre backs, all of the fullbacks, and see, as we get into Team of the Year, who should you go with? Is there misses? Is there potential evolutions coming? Usable, very usable, and also top meta. So if you're looking for coins, head to the description of the video, have a look at U7, click go to site, and you'll be transported straight to the coin page for FC25. There is plenty of mounts, and we know full well that U7 are the cheapest, safest, reliablest coins that you can get out there. Once selected your product, click buy, and you'll also be given a newcomer an extra bonus per time. Then obviously head over to the discount, type in JT11 for your discount code, and you'll be able to get that lovely 8% off every single time. And there is also massive creators that are on screen that are also affiliated with U7 Buy. And if that's not enough to convince you, there is lots of different reviews that you can go on Trustpilot and have a look for yourselves. Safe, reliable, and fast. There's a lot of categories that quite a lot of these defenders do fit in, and we're just going to go straight in there. So, first and foremost, we're obviously looking at one of the best gold cards that we could still get right now, and a lot of people still think he's kind of under the value. I maybe do agree that maybe, just maybe, he's out of the top meta now. I still absolutely love him. I think his upgrades now are still incredible. Like, obviously, he's got his 93, he's got his inform. They are naturally always going to be top meta. And I'd even argue that the gold should be there, but I have seen a lot of people not using him now. We've seen plenty of foot champs with more than enough centre backs to go around. If you prefer having a dynamic in your team, a special upgraded, maybe even getting some double play star pluses in there. Now, they are far and few still. We've mainly got them in Winter Wildcard. We haven't seen them in Numero Foot as of yet. But Team of the Year will change that. We're going to get a whole double squad of double playstyle pluses, maybe even the honourable mentions. Some of the top ones I can imagine should have them. Whether we see the centre backs we want in there or not, it will be interesting to see who that back line truly is. Do they go 3 centre backs and a right back, a left back, right back, 2 centre backs? They can make up whatever they want, really. At this point, we didn't see many strikers in the past few, or I think it was a left wing we didn't see, but there is still some absolute fire choices that you can go for right now. So let's just go straight through. We have got a lot of players. Now, when we look at the likes of someone like a Mendy and also a Kyle Walker, pretty much Walker's now just got an upgrade, which actually I didn't even know he had at this point. We had to give him a go. I saw him a couple days ago and I was thinking, hold on, I completely missed this card. Genuinely, where did he come from? He is a lovely upgrade to a 91. They obviously know that Walker's had some decent upgrades, at least evolutions that you could have put him in and made him up to like an 87 or an 88 that do the job. They may not be absolutely number one, but they do the job enough. But we've got a beautiful upgrade. 4 on the pace, 11 defending, 10 physical, 7 on the dribbling, boosting up the composure to the whopping 83. Now, I don't think that is quite good enough for him, but we can move with the upgrade as it is. Obviously, then he's had the 4 pace, the physicality's gone up, the defending, bit of passing as well. It's turned him into a nice upgrade. Now, as much as I think that's still, it's a very, very good card. I'm not a fan of Quick Step on a defender personally, but when you look at the evolutions that we could have gone with him to make him into that level, even if you went to, what would it have been? I think you could go Sentinel. Could you go Remember Kaliber then still? Say if you just went with 2 of the more recent evolutions, there's been a few that you could have gone for. You're looking at 85 on the composure, and we're looking at the difference. Yes, 4 more pace, fair enough. 3 more passing, it's not necessarily the end of the world. He's got intercept. Personally, for me, is more of a CDM playstyle plus, but I'll absolutely take it on him right now. More so than Quick Step. 2 defending upgrade, 4 physical, and he's lost 2 composure, but he's gained agility balance. He's gained a 6 on the dribbling. But the difference between 2 free evolutions and 1.7 mil is just not enough of a gap. He needed a double play style plus. He needed something different, maybe even more of a meta play style plus, to be able to then warrant going for that one rather than the evolution. So just as a little rant to that card, I do think he's a good card. I don't think he's top meta in my opinion in that 91, and I'd definitely take the 87 over him for that price comparison. Mendy's a similar situation, but in terms of he's had quite a few evolutions, but We haven't had an upgrade on him yet. He's so hot and cold, genuinely. Like, we normally have very, very little upgrades on Mendy. He never really gets it until the very end. Last year, we got absolutely spoiled. We got the Centurions pretty much within the first few promos. Couple of promos after that, we managed to get the Dynasty. We then took a few more promos after Team of the Year to get the... I can't remember what that one is. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with matches. I can't... Well, what was it? Does it tell me? Fantasy, thank you very much. Fantasy, and then obviously we got into the lovely end promo. It's fair enough. The year before that, we got a winter wildcard and that's it. The year before that, we got a footies and that was it. So I can imagine we more than likely will go back to that stage, but Mendy's still absolutely outrageous when you look at him. I'd probably be looking more towards like the 87, 88, like the Remember Kaliber, because the Mentality Monster, no thank you. Not to get someone at 89. The rating's pretty, but I mean... it's just going to hold him back for the next evolution that will come, hopefully during Team of the Year or just after. Now, we spent a long time talking about 4 cards. Let's have a look at a few of the lower ones. When we look at the likes of Kim Min-jae, he's obviously got the Intercept. It's a nice card. I'd probably go more usable than anything. Militao with an evolution for this one specifically. He did get a really nice upgrade that we'll have a look at. Sol Campbell, I'd be looking at more of an upgrade, but in terms of usability, I think he's there. 87s and above are going to be within the next like month or two before they're all evolved in a decent level. We've had one that goes to 91 with the Attacking Avalanche. We've had then the Mentality Monster that is a subpar evolution that's gone up to 89, but it's the only one that's gone that high other than the Avalanche. So hopefully we do see more and more come in, and double playstyle pluses will be the next big thing for these cards, and that's where you've got to kind of rank them. We look at then Simikan. I think he was primed for an evolution. He's got the jockey. Pace is decent enough. Defending, base and physical, good. Obviously the dribbling, 84 on the composure already. He is primed for an evolution. He can be fantastic with a next one. He's not going to start in a main team. I think you'd be definitely looking maybe usability, but the chances of an evolution for someone like him, I would much prefer over a Kim Min-jae. Maybe Sol Campbell would be on that level, but I still think with Sol Campbell, he's got that ability to be able to do it. Jaap Stam, I think very much like Virgil. Obviously the base version is probably a little bit under his prime now. I think we've got his prime here. I think that's a wonderful card regardless, and more than likely we will see another upgrade of him very soon. Apparently the prime is coming as an SBC during Team of the Year. Ronaldinho is another one there, and I think there was one more somewhere that I can't remember the name of, but there was a couple of leaks of SBCs, so it will be interesting to see what price we're looking at, and then is he getting another upgrade soon? Because normally that's the only reason they give you an SBC of the card. They're going to be next in line for another upgrade. Then obviously we look at someone like Tar. I'd probably miss this one now because we have got a better version. Tamore, I still think would be very usable. He could be dropping into that evolution for the double, and then more than likely the evolution would put him back into that very usable. Van der Ven, I think in this version specifically, you're looking for the evolution. Getting that Playstyle Plus is massive on him because it does give him then the ability to really shine. Like, that is going to be a fantastic card for an evolution basis. I just think they should bring out a massive card for him. It more than likely would be something like Fantasy, where they can give him a double Playstyle Plus, a lovely defensive and physical and dribbling upgrade, and he just will be that monster. A footies version of him at 96, 97 will be incredible. Varane, been out the longest time. Like I remember when he came out like 3 months ago. He probably still could be used, and that shows you how good of an SBC that was. It's just a fantastic one. Now obviously Mentality Monster is the only one he can go into. I'd probably now say he could still be very usable. Like, I mean, he's got the intercept, the defending's there, the physical there, obviously the body type is there. I would probably go more evolution for that double for him. Or I would possibly go into the usable. I think usable might be the better standpoint right now. Like we said with Sol Campbell, Kim Min-jae, he is kind of just waiting for that next refresh. I think Shah, absolutely outrageous of a free card if you manage to get him. I try not to go too heavy on these because they were so difficult to get a decent card. Now, if you played every single week of the Rivals, you had the best chance. But realistically, if you weren't in, I think it was Division 3 or 4 to get the 2 every week and was playing every week, it was very, very difficult to get him in one pick. You just got the lowest every time. I think I managed to get 189 from like champs, and it even then wasn't a great option. So if you did manage to get him, for a base 88 with the aerial, this obviously came out during the aerial plus kind of meta, as we say. It probably has less of an impact now, but what a card regardless. Great agility balance for a centre-back, composure at 90, 90 defending, pace could do with the work, but I mean, you whack the shadow, 88 still good enough. Great physicality, great passing, a solid free card in my opinion. Kounde, love the card. I think, again, due another massive upgrade at some point. He's now at an 89, so I don't know what I've got. Have I not put him in as the 89? I swear I upgraded him. Is he somewhere around here? Did I not put him in here? I've just noticed I've got Sakina as well at the 90, but I'll show you the 89. I swear I upgraded them, because I upgraded most of them, because I got the 91 Konate, the 90 Saliba. He'll probably pop up somewhere that I forgot to put him in. Anyway, we will go with the 89. Obviously, it's got the 89 here. 400k, obviously gone for the Jockey Plus, got the maxed upgrade. Absolutely brilliant. I think it's got all of it now. He didn't get the 2 matches, so he didn't get a second play style plus. Is it? Oh no, 2 play styles or a role plus, sorry. And then he did manage to get the overall plus 1 role. So obviously he's managed to get the upgrade that he can really at that point. So in terms of him and himself, is a stunning centre-back or right-back. I love the versatility. I think for me, he's definitely going into that very usable. And Sakina's very much the same as well. When you look at her at now, her 90, I think she's been 90 for quite a while as well. She's obviously gone in with the whipped pass. It's got an ability to be able to be done. Obviously got the 5-star, 4-star as well. Great stats across the board. One of the better left-backs. And then if we quick fire through a few of them then. So we look at the likes of a Bastoni. We look at Cordoba. I'd say Bastoni for me would slightly be dropping out of the lead now. He's an incredible card. He's obviously got a very good defensive ability. He's now coming in at 55. There's a lot of centre-backs with it, and it's where a lot of the players will go. I'd go Cordoba exactly the same. Now, obviously, the aerial plus isn't quite what it used to be. Now, obviously, when we're looking at Gabriel, we're looking at a card that was out about 2 months ago. Like, it was one of the first promos in Trailblazer. It's bound to be that eventually they drop down. Marquinhos, exactly the same. I'd probably even miss this card and be looking more towards the 90 at this point. Again, another card that came out during the Successions and had a nice upgrade to him. It's not necessarily the biggest card in the world, and I don't think there's many now that have come out that are absolutely taken away with it. I think if you're looking at kind of more the top meta, you're still looking at kind of your Maldinis in obviously his Centurions version. And we've got quite a few like King, who is in the evolution portion. We have Company, I'd say definitely very usable. I'd again look at his kind of meta card in the absolute top with his Prime, wherever it's gone. He did have a Prime, didn't he? Or did he have an upgrade? So, oh, he had a Winter Wild card, that's what it was. He managed to get the 90 that's definitely up there. He's kind of at the bottom here. I absolutely love this card. Again, another brilliant one. He's cheap, he's affordable, and he's absolutely fantastic on the pitch. Now, obviously, he's kept the Anticipate. He's just had a standard upgrade across the board, but having that extra 2 on the Composure, taking it to 88, a bit more agility balance, a bit more passing, then obviously gaining physicality and some pace. It's definitely put him in a category where he's just a fantastic centre-back. Now, some play better than others. We could see a 99 Puyol versus a 92 Maldini. And Maldini's body type will always work and win every single time. Saliba, I would still put up there. Konate would actually go into more the very usable. I think he's a fantastic free card. But there's definitely bits in the game where I'm like, it just makes mistakes for me. And that could be my input as well. I'm not going to say it's totally his fault. I'm hardly the best defender at this, but I'm competent enough whenever I've used a big Virgil, or I've used Lucio, Company, Saliba in these kind of going and finding these players. They've always felt a lot better. And maybe that's what I'm looking for. The price point might do that, but he's definitely better. We then have Bremer. I'd probably miss out on him now at this point. I think he could do with an upgrade, maybe even an evolution, but an 89 going up is going to take some time. I think Desai comes in very usable as always. The SBC kind of tarnished a little bit of his rating in my opinion, but now going up to the 90, I do think he's still a very competent centre-back. We also look at the likes of Blanc and Rio, two of the most meta centre-backs that we had in previous years, now coming into the point where not as much. Blanc's coming in at a whopping 95,000. Rio's still got his ability in him. Obviously, he's a bit more of a pacier centre-back that definitely keeps him up there. But I do think both of them are massively due another big upgrade. We've hardly seen many, we've got so many icons and heroes to upgrade. It feels like we've not hardly even touched the surface with them. Herrero, I think, is outrageous this year again. We're obviously seeing a lot more centre-back catch-up mechanics, and it works in the favours of these high-end defensive, maybe not as great paces. He's still got over the 80, which is very, very good for a centre-back in previous years. This year, it obviously works in his favour massively, and he's just stunning. Having that 94 defensive ability with the 88 physical, and then having 81 pace, which, like I say, is still good enough. It really, really works for him. We then have Arejo and we have Lucio. Incredible. Carragher I'd probably miss, unfortunately. I really like his base, and I think that will be due for the upgrade at some point. We have Ruben Diaz. I've just never got on with this card. Unless it's his team of the year, it's just not the one for me, unfortunately. He's got great defensive ability. I just don't get on with the card. Like we've seen in previous years with him. Like the 90 Trailblazer was nice at the start, but obviously the pace was a massive downgrade. Team of the year, outrageous. Then obviously the 97 was still very, very good, but by then we already had 90 plus centre-backs in every single section of the game. We obviously had the year before, didn't get the upgrade until late on. The year before that, he had obviously... Was that his change card? Was that a one to watch or something? The signature signings is what it was meant to be. That again was an okay card, but it was the next level up that we needed. I think we need it again. I'm not a big fan. We then got Renard. I think she's okay. I think I'm being a bit harsh on Ruben Diaz. Just because I don't like him doesn't mean everybody else is not going to like him. Georges is going to go in there. LaCroix, I actually really like. Now, obviously, he's going to take a little bit of a battering now, but he's still a very good option. It's just not too much to talk about, as he was one of the hardest ones to get in squad battles mastery as well. Romero is dying for a playstyle plus at this point. He got himself the 90, but there's only so far you can go without one, unfortunately. Savic, I'd probably miss at this point. Same with Yoshida. You could go into evolution, but realistically, if I was to pick between like a Militao or a Savic, I know the 99% of people are going to go with Militao. Alphonso Davies, absolutely love him as a left back. Teo Hernandez, to be honest, is probably one of the best ones you're going to get. Llorente, I like him as a centre mid this year. I think last year he was very much on that kind of right back hype, and it was for quite a while because we had a great evolution right off the bat in Centurions. This year I think he's got more of an ability to get into that centre mid, so I'd say he's I'd probably say slightly usable at right back, but I'd prefer the centre back with him. Delo could do with the upgrade. I think Di Lorenzo would be the same as well. De Ligt's marginally usable, I would say. Ashley Cole, I'd probably go the same as well. I'm not a big fan of his card. I think it's okay at best, but what you normally have to pay for some cards like that, I know he probably has took a massive nosedive. Even then, still 155. I think that's still expensive for what he can bring compared to a lot of the left backs. We have a few more for the evolution point, which is obvious. Schlotterbeck, I think he's there, but being the 87 needs to be one more. Akanji would be the same as well. We'd obviously go evolution. Ake being 89, I think is more in the usual. He's not going to get an evolution anytime soon. Absolutely love Boy as a right back. I think he's outrageously good. Trent, he's probably more evolution now, really. Baresi, good centre-back, not quite on the Herrero level. We've then got Martinez, I'd probably leave out. Thuram, obviously got to go up into that top. If you've not used him, give him a go. Give his base version a go, and then add like an extra little bit of sauce to it. just brilliant. I was going to say outrageous again. Mycon's another one that I think is just brilliant. We look at then the base kind of coming into the very usable. DeMarco puts himself up there as well. Frimpong's getting less and less, I must admit. He's got a really nice high rating, but very much like Romero, he now needs a playstyle plus. He needs something to pop himself back up again. His defensive ability is a little bit weaker, kind of plays more of a right mid at this point, just without the shooting and not necessarily the craziest passing. He's got great crossing, but it's only going to get you so far. So at this point, I'd probably put him more unusable. Gossens would be the same. Z Roberto, I know he's had a different version as well. He kind of can play that left back. I'd say he's usable as a left back. I don't know if I'd quite say that he's amazing there. I don't really ever see him. I see him centre mid as a must, left mid, left wing as a very last minute option by the looks of it. Munoz, beautiful. Lizarazu, outrageously good as well. We then have Teo. He's obviously going to put himself in that top. Gusto, did he get that playstyle plus or did he? I think he did as well. Did I not upgrade him? He did. He got the rapid plus. It's not my favourite, if I'm being honest. I think the rapid and the quick step on a right back, maybe an attacking fullback could work really well, but I just think it's a bit of a waste. I'd rather have that on the winger and have more of a defensive ability, but that's again because I play fullbacks rather than attacking wingbacks as such. So I would kind of say he's okay with that. He's not necessarily going to get another upgrade anytime soon until we get maybe into them 88s to 90 evolutions, which again is going to take a little bit of time. Beasley, I'd put the same. We've got another Ake because this one's not enough. O'Hara, I'd probably miss at this point. I know a lot of people like to. I really don't know why. I didn't think she was that good. Until we get maybe the Team of the Years with maybe some more NWSLs, that could then kind of spike her price to just be there. I just don't think as a right back on her own, she was that good in my opinion. I'd miss on Zanetti as well. Didn't like him at all. I think Zambrotta's due the upgrade, but very much like a lot of them when we see the likes of Mendy, he just doesn't get him. He really gets at the very last kind of crumbs towards the end. I'd miss Robinson now without an evolution 100%. Maybe could even go for an evolution for him like next to Trent. Roberto Carlos, I'd be looking at very usable. Carfu and Alberto, I always love in this game. Their ability on the ball is fantastic. They've always got great body types. Obviously with Alberto, because we've got such an array of centre-backs, I'm seeing him being pushed more into the right-back format now, more so than when we saw him last year, with a lot more centre-back action more than anything. And Ndicka is going to go usable. I'd say Delit, another one that we've got two of. I will put him there again, I suppose. Navas, I quite liked him. I think evolutions will suit him well. I think end of eras, as long as you got him done, he's going to get an evolution at some point that will really make him that high rated and potentially into a better spot. But right now, he's still usable enough. I'd miss out on Alex Scott. Didn't rate the card at all. Quick step again on a centre-back this time. It's not my favourite. Vidic, this year, I'd be as close to saying miss with him. He's still okay, but it's not quite what we've got from Vidic. He's normally absolutely up in the top once he gets them first versions out. We saw him last year. I think he got very... No, did he get... Oh, of course, it's the weird thing that it won't show me any of the others. Can I click Generations here? Oh, let's just click it. We got... Oh, of course, it's not going to show me. But, in fact, I can do it here, can't I? Vidic. That'll do better. So we got, obviously, the... Yeah, was it this one? The Centurions was very mid. We got into the Glasgow, and that was a great centre-back upgrade. And then, obviously, the 97 was much better for him. But this one is very much the same pattern. It's just a little bit of a miss at this point, in my opinion. We've got the right-back. Brilliant. Use him and you'll see. You'll absolutely see. I think Hato puts himself up there especially as well with another upgrade that we could actually put him in from an evolution yesterday in the numero foot surge. Adds him into that 90. Does take him away from being evolved anytime soon to a long time, but what a card in a left back role. Very nice for the price. We then have obviously the Brighton left back. I'd be very close to saying evolution for that extra playstyle plus, but he's still there at the moment. I'd possibly look at him down one. Then we've obviously got Danilo. Was an okay card. I mean, I love the dynamic with the card. I think green and the light green work really well. But I think Anticipate, he's got himself the centre-back. Good pace, good defending, good physical, a solid amount of dribbling. I mean, for a cheap 55k player, I'd absolutely have him in my Serie A team, especially if we're running kind of a fullback system where we've got the three at the back, maybe the two wing backs. If you're going five at the back and having them more left mid, right mid. We obviously got the Wolves left back, I thought was a great objective. Dante, very similar to Hato, but just a little bit less with that numero surge. Bright, I'd miss out on. Bon Pastor, awful this year. I think once she gets into kind of the later stages, we'll see a much better card. I think Lizarazu is definitely taking the stage at this point, in my opinion. We then have Estepina, still usable enough. Same as Eric Bailly. It's a nice card. It's a good upgrade. He goes into the surge as well, which is nice. Smalling, I mean, evolution maybe, but I'd often say miss. Guehi, to be fair, solid card to start with. McManaman, not the best version of him. Like, if we obviously have a look at McManaman in himself, is not a bad card, but I think he's got a better card with the right mid. Obviously the 99 pace. This version does have a solid amount of everything. Like, he is kind of based more to the right mid still, but defensive and physical work is really not that bad. He's got the whipped pass, so he's more an attacking wing back, but does work really well. Nuno Mendes would go into the usable. Klosterman, he's okay. Like, it's very fine margins. I'd miss out on Parejo. We then have Yan Cuto. I thought was a nice upgrade for him. I know we saw him a lot last year. Was it Future Star that he got? I'm pretty sure it was Future Star and something else that he managed to get. Oh, it was Fantasy. Was it the year? But I swear we got him as it might have just been this one. I swear there was another one in between these two, but then we obviously got the end card, but there was far too many right backs at that point. We then have Tar, much better version of him. Then we've obviously got Anton, lovely left back. We have then Dumfries, I'd say is a solid right back. I think with the numero foot, there's a lot of solid cards, not necessarily a crazy amount of absolute blown out the water. I think Dunk is quite very usable as well, to be fair to him. We then have the likes of Militao. Outrageous upgrade for him. He is just an absolute tank now at 91, 1.4 mil. He's obviously coming in, great pace upgrade from his base card of a nice free to make him into 88. Defensive and physical ability, stunning. Great dribbling on him with the 90 on the composure. Obviously got a lot of passing in this as well. He's still 6'1". He's got himself the Jockey Plus. You could put him at left back, is where his position is, but as a centre back, I mean, it's a no-brainer for him. And then we also have Stones as well. I think he's just class amongst the rest as well. I think that is such a good centre back for the price that you're paying. I'd absolutely use him as a very close to top meta, but I mean, just at the very, very minimum, very usable. Like we said with Kyle Walker, I think he's very usable, not quite in that absolute must. Alberto will put himself there. We then have Mappy Leon. I think she's incredible in herself. Caldrado looks about the same as well as Balde. And then we kind of come into some of the kind of outside shots. We've got a Haaland, who, to be fair to him, has got a great build for this. I mean, if you're going to pick anybody to go from striker to centre-back, Haaland's probably the closest thing to a centre-back as well with that build. We've got Rudiger, brilliant upgrade. Pedro Porro, another fantastic upgrade. I'm not a fan of Mascherano this year. I think he's only okay. I'd say Rolfo into the very usable. Lavelli into the usable. Olga, she's got nice stats. A bit harder to get again with the 90 rated on the mastery, but still a good card enough. And I'd say then Milito. Decent, and he's got the double play style plus, which, as you see, not many people at centre-back have. But it's still only okay. Like, obviously he's coming in at 6 foot. It's enough. It would have been nice to maybe had a fullback alternative for him, but he does enough to get round it, to be honest. And that is going to be the list of every defender that I can think of so far. Let me know who you've got. There's a lot of options, and Team of the Year is going to blow it out the water.